Good evening, everyone, and welcome to session 7 of our Just Go webinars. This one is the membership setup for your new financial or membership, I should say, year. This evening's one has a focus on South Australia and Tasmania because their memberships are coming up for renewal. And however, there'll be lots of tips and tricks throughout here that you'll be able to use for all of our other states around Australia as we get towards the end of their membership year. So there's 5 steps that we're going to go over tonight. We're going to update our club roles. We're going to update our membership price, update our family membership price. We're going to talk about 14-month memberships and quick and easy at the end, how to add life members as well. So I'm going to get straight into it on Just Go here. We're going to use the membership setup tile tonight. So I'm going to click on that one. And our first job that we're going to do, actually, I'm not in the right area because, I'll make a mistake straight away. Our first job we're actually going to do is to update our club roles. So we do need to go into the club members for that one. So hopefully you know about this area. If you don't, this is a fabulous little quick and easy thing that you will need to do when you change your committee. And so that may or may not occur at the same time as your membership, but this is really important. So I'm just going to bring myself up. You can see all these little boxes, they're not boxes, they're circles with a letter in each of them. And that means that I have clicked on all those different roles. So I'm going to click on my profile down in the bottom there, and I'm going to go to here to our club role. So I click on that and I go update roles. And you can see that I have all of these green ticks here. So these are all of the different roles within the clubs. The most important one to ensure for someone who has access to absolutely everything is your club administrator. So generally your secretary, sometimes your club chief instructor, your treasurer as well, and your president, even your VP as well. Every club is going to be slightly different as to how many people have access to the full access. I think in our club we have 3 people. So once you've selected club administrator and you've got a blue tick there, you're going to go save. So you're going to go through all those people who were on your previous committee, and then all of those ones who are either rolling over and staying on the committee because they're fabulous people, or those who are taking some time away from the committee. You need to take those off. So you need to make sure that you would then untick, I'll just click back into there, the little blue box. So nice and easy. Alrighty, so that's a very simple, quick and easy step that you will need to go through and check each of those people do not have access that shouldn't have access. All right, so the second thing we're going to do is update our membership price. So we will go back and we will go to our membership setup there. So obviously using our club one, ours will look a little bit different to yours. And because I've finally mastered the art of the family membership, which we'll run through a bit later on, we are going to reduce a lot of these for next year. So, okay, so for Tas and South Australia, currently you're in your blackout period, so the 1st of May to the 15th of May. All that means is that there's essentially a stop on any new memberships, and that's really just to ensure that people aren't, buying a membership right at the very end of the membership period. And it also allows clubs the time to actually change those memberships and alter things that need to be done. So please ensure that your memberships are all set up and ready to go for before the 15th of May, or by the 15th of May, I should say, because there has been issues in previous years with clubs not doing it at the right time, and then they're actually losing financial, like having a financial loss because they haven't actually updated it and people are starting to join. So really important to get that out to our South Australian and Tasmanian members that by the 15th, this needs to be done. Alrighty, so yes, Mono.
It is also important for the clubs to check in with the zones to see if they have activated their membership. Previously, we have seen that the clubs are all ready by 15th of May, the end of blackout period, and they're ready to sell membership, but the zones are not set up, and that's why the members profile doesn't show zone membership active, because they've never
Right.
activated the membership. So talk to your
Thank
zones,
you.
make sure that they have activated and just are on the same page as the club.
Brilliant. Thank you. I will be repeating that again a few times throughout the session, because it's such an important message to get through. So ensuring that you have both your clubs and your zones as well. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Fabulous. So first of all, the next important thing is ensure that you've set up your that you know what your PCA, what your state fee, and what your zone fees are for the new membership period. That's really important. So please get in touch with those important people and get those fees sorted. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to go through and check each of these. So yours should all be in, unless you've actually gone through and done this, which it looks like PC already has, so well done. So yours will all say inactive in this period, and you're going to jump into the edit, our little pencil button. So we've personalized our memberships. We did this pretty much straight away, and honestly every year we put new photos in each of them based on the different categories of ages, and the kids love it when they see their face up on the memberships as well. So you can personalize your membership name, your about your membership. You can also personalize that, so for your club. You can give it a color if you like. The classification, make sure it matches what the classification is for that membership. Now, all of this here should be set as like a default, and you shouldn't have to change any of that. That is for Tasmanian and South Australian. Please ignore this here because this is Queensland. So I'm going to scroll straight past that, and we're going to go to membership pricing. Now, the biggest thing I want to ensure that you are aware is this price here is the amount of money the club you will receive. So that's really important. That's not the total price. We're going to put that down here. So this is the amount of money that you will receive minus your state, zone, and PCA fees. All righty. So now we have the next thing that we need to do is this little guy here is the automatically pro rata price. So if you're going to pro rata your membership, you need to tick that. And for those who don't know what that means, essentially the membership is, and when I say the membership, I'm talking about this price, your club price. That is essentially a 365-day, or with the 14-month membership, which we'll talk about in a minute, a little bit longer than that. But let's just stick with 365 days to make life simple. So it's a 365-day membership, okay? So if someone joins on, say, day 250 of that membership, if you have pro rata price ticked, then they will only pay 115 days worth of that. So it's up to you as your club if you are going to have that. It obviously gives people a little bit of a discount if they're only getting the membership for the last few months of a membership period. All righty. Now, the next thing that we're going to go down here, and you're going to make sure that you always have display alternative price. And the reason for that is you have to now calculate your club fee plus your state fee plus your zone fee and your PCA fee to get this fee. And that is what the member will pay. Remember, the club will only see this amount here, but the member will pay this one. So that's really important. The next section down here is installments that I just want to briefly mention. Now, this is a Just Go Pro feature. Our club does have the Just Go Pro subscription. We find it really, really handy. Now, as an example, if you have a club fee that is rather expensive. This particular one includes our volunteer levy. That's why it's a bit higher than everyone else's. And when I say everyone else's, I should say all the other members for our club. So this is for new people. So if you have a membership fee that is a higher end, obviously financial straining times for a lot of people. So having an installment enabled is really, really handy. What it means though is that they still do need to pay the PCA, the state, and the zone fee up front. They must pay that immediately. So then the installment would be on this price. So if you wanted to have installments, then you work it out on this price up here, okay? And you just literally go through here and set it all up. It's very, very simple, and it is a great handy little tool for families and for clubs as well, and will more than likely increase your memberships if you're offering that. But it is a Just Go Pro feature, so you will need to update that. And update your subscription. Okie dokie. Now, the next part down here is membership benefits. Now, these are kind of popped in here from PCA as default ones, but you can add a new benefit if you like. So, for example, I was thinking about this afternoon, and I was thinking, what would we pop in there if we wanted to put something in there? Oh, goodness me, hang on, sorry, I've just lost my screen. There we are. What would we putting in there? And I personally, if my club had an indoor arena and we hired out the indoor arena, or we allowed members to use the indoor arena at any point in time, I'd put that in there because that is a perk of your club. If you have a cross-country course, put it in there because it is a perk of your club. It's a benefit. Let other people know what is a benefit to joining your club. That's where you sell yourself. So I think that's a great little spot there. I'm just going to click on the chat because there's a question in here. Can answer it at the end. Great. Does the installment come out of the card they use to pay the initial payment? Yes, Pony Club Taz, it does, but there is a really simple way for them to change that. So we use the installments for our Pony Club camps, which are quite pricey, and as we all know, some people have money on one card one week and money on a different card the next. So yes, you can change that, and it's a very simple process. So it's actually really easy. This is our first year using the installments, and we've been stoked with it. So very, very happy. So I'm happy to answer more questions about the installments at the end. Super. Alrighty, now, so yes, you can go through and you can add your benefit. You're just going to type in here and then click on your green little arrow. So I'm not going to add anything at this point in time. All right, moving along to membership restrictions, discounts, and surcharges. Now, generally, all of your restrictions are set at a PCA level via, generally the age is the restriction. So you won't see those there because that's from the back end. And I couldn't think of any particular restrictions that we would that a club would have. Your discounts, you need to go through, and what you would need to do is you need to click on each of these tabs to ensure if there is anything in here, are you still happy with it? Review them. Make sure you're still happy with the price or the discount or the surcharge, whatever it is that you have popped in there before, discuss it with your committee. So the discounts, there is a spot in here where you can put a discount rule in. So if someone like myself, for example, which I did this year, I did 3 girls riding memberships and then was like, I don't have enough money to do my own riding membership. So I just joined as a social member until a couple of weeks ago. And then I upgraded from a social member or a non-riding member to a riding member. And because we have the discount rule in there that I already had that membership, I did get a small discount instead of having to pay some of the fees twice. So if you are interested in knowing more about the discount rule for upgrading, please ask Monal by sending him an email at the support email. So Monal can pop that in the chat. I'm sure everyone who's on here probably has that email like I do in their phone. Fabulous. So just going through and clicking on each of these to ensure that if there is anything here sitting in here, that you will review that. Because again, if you don't review that and it's wrong and you have people start to join your club, then you may or may not lose finances, which, you know, clubs don't need. Now, Model, I'm just going to ask you to jump in here because I actually forgot to ask you this afternoon. I know that the upsell of a product is a Just Go Pro feature, but is all of this a Just Go Pro feature?
I don't think all of them are. So you can definitely add fields to it.
Yep. Okay.
The first
So
one
I
is the
thought
section one. So yeah, the upsell product is the one that is the pro feature. I think rest of them will be there in there.
Brilliant. Awesome. So not a lot of people know about this little area down here, or they skip over it because this is an area we generally only go in once a year. Now you can add, the header is essentially a title to a section, and then you're going to add a field. So I'm just going to quickly click on a field, and this is actually, this is where we go through and we create forms which are based on questions. So if you have extra questions that you would like to ask your members, then I will quickly show you that at the end of how to get that to sit under here. Essentially are questions that I thought, obviously we have our equity questions that pop up, which are actually quite handy for grant applications, because they often ask, do you have any Torres Strait or Aboriginal or First Nations peoples in your club, and if you don't know that information or how to access it, then you can't actually put that in your grant application. This is something that's just come up for our club recently. Also the LGBTQIA community, that could be certainly another question you could ask in there. But something that I thought was really important from a pony club perspective was, if you have new members joining your club that nobody knows, pop in a question there. If you're a new member, can you tell us about your riding ability, or your if you're a competitor, where have you competed, what height? Because when they come along to a muster or a rally, you're going to already know that information about them, and it's going to be easier for you to place them. So that's something that I thought would be really, really great by adding the field. So I will show you the form and how to quickly, I won't go through it entirely because it is in all of my other series, especially the events ones, number 2 and number 3. So you can get them to add a profile photo. So you can click on that and it encourages them to add a profile photo, which is really cute. They can do that in their profile when they go up into here at any point in time anyway. But it's a nice little extra thing. Now, credentials, obviously we have lots of different credentials within the PCA system. So there's a heap there. Okay, so they can select which ones that they have if you pop that in there. Now, this is really important. Emergency contacts. As a junior member, when you're signing them up, it doesn't ask for an emergency contact. So this is vital, in my opinion, and I think that is really, really important to have that in here. And even, of course, if you're a senior riding member, you know, we need to know who to contact in case of an emergency. So our opt-ins are.
Sorry, Shiona,
yes,
just
Ronald?
to provide a clarification, I was
Yep.
incorrect. The section 6 is only for Just Go Pro, so all of the features will be for Just Go Pro. There's not 1 or 2 that are available for basic, and
the whole lot.
The whole lot is part of the Just Go Pro.
Okay, that's all right. Another reason to update. Thank you for clarifying that. Absolutely. That's awesome. So these are all our different opt-ins, which are generally already there from a national level. Your declaration's already there as well. Your upsell products. So I know I have some products in there, so I'm just going to click on that to show you. So if you want to add in a hat, there you go. And I actually talked a bit about this in my shop management, when you're actually creating a shop for your club online on Just Go. But we talked about how you can add all of these things. And I know for our southern states, a lot of our southern states encourage or it's a requirement when you come to a rally that you're in your formal uniform. We don't do that in Queensland, but if that's a requirement of your club, then you can pop all your formal uniform requirements here and you can click on required so that they have to purchase each of those uniforms. So this is another area here that's really good for your club, especially I love the upsell products. You can also add that to events as well. So once you've gone through all of these bits and pieces, which, you know, I know I'm obviously going through very slowly and showing you lots of different things, but when you do this once, you'll be able to do it each other time really, really quickly. So you're going to go save. Alrighty, now the next thing that you need to do is you will need to, let me scroll to the top, click on your little drop down arrow, and you're going to make it, this would obviously say, because mine are active currently, so this, if it was inactive, you would say active. So let me go down to these ones. So I would make it active, okay? And that means that the membership is ready to purchase as soon as that blackout period finishes. So even though it says active, doesn't mean that anyone can purchase it yet. It's not until the 16th of May. This is for our South Australian and Tasmanian fabulous Pony Club members. All righty. Now, again, I'll say it again, please make sure that this is done by the 15th, because we don't want your club to experience any financial loss because you haven't updated your fees. So make sure you get in touch with your zone and your state and PCA if you haven't already, and know those fees so you can add them to your club fees and get your overall fee that you need to charge your members. All right, so our step 3 that we are going to go through tonight is to update our family membership. Now, I have only just kind of, you know, brushed the surface of this one. I'll just actually go back and show you. All right, so configure, oh my goodness. There we go, configure family membership. So we're still in our membership setup tile, and we're going to click on this button here. All right, so you will need to activate family membership, which is a discount for members of a family who are subsequent members. So that is 4 of us, for example, in my family. So you're going to need to activate that one. I'm not going to press that tonight because it's not activated for our club until next year. So you can pop in a description. You can give yourself a pretty color. And then you can do an image, for example. So I could put my image of my crazy family here. If you have a fabulous family in your club, you could, of course, use that, and that would be great. So then we're going to go down to our number 2, price and combination setup. Now, I know this looks a little bit challenging and looks a little bit scary. Monel is there to help you with all of this, so I'm going to very briefly go over this tonight. Always ensure that you have the type set. You're going to go through and select the memberships that you want to be able to have in the family memberships. So we've got our adult riding, our senior riding, and our junior riding. So then we scroll down to our combination, and when I click on the little green arrow, it's going to list those 3 that I've got up here. Okay, so when I click on this, when I'm first setting it up, these will not have a blue tick. So you just need to tick each of them. And this will be default set at the word between, but you want to change it to equal to. And it's equal to 2 people. Okay, which is the smallest family that you can have, because obviously 1 is not a family, it's a single rider. And then you need to change this one to equal to, and then these values here are always going to be 0. And the minimum family members is 2. Okay, then I'll get to this in a minute. Then obviously the next line would be 3. Minimum family members is 3, 4, and 4. If you have obviously families that have more than 4 in them, then you're going to add a new combination. So I will show you how to do that now. I'm going to tick that one, and that one. And it's default at between, but we need to set it to equal to, and we're going to say 5. So again, over here, equal to, and we want to have it as 0. And our minimum family members here is 5. Now, each of these prices is always going to be fixed. Now, this is where it gets a tiny bit confusing, and you'll have to use a calculator or your amazing brain if you're that way inclined. Depends on how tired you all are. So, for example, our adult riding member is $41.05. That is how much our club receives, because this is just on the club. They will still have to pay 3 PCAs, 3 zone fees, and 3 state fees. That's never going to change. What you're giving them a discount on is your club fee. That's really important to understand. So, for example, here, this $72.10 comes from $41.05, and then we want to give those subsequent members $10 off. So, $10 off $41.05 is $31.05. So $31.05 plus $41.05, that's the first riding membership, and then the second riding membership, and it comes to $72.10. So then from $72.10, we're not giving another, this is our club specific, we're not giving another $10 off, we're just discounting those members $10 each time. So then all I need to do from $72.10 is add another $31.05, which gets me to this one. And the same thing here, I add another $31.05 to here. And so I'm not going to put it in because my brain's not going to work and I couldn't be bothered to try and find the calculator. But $134.20 plus $31.05 would be this figure here. Okay, we don't have anyone with 5 members in our club, so I'm going to remove that. So that is how your family membership works. I know it's a lot to take in. Please feel free to get in touch with Monel, and he will be able to sort that out for you. So then you can go down here and you are going to, Monel, I just realized display price settings. Sorry, I actually wasn't sure. Do we do the alternative price?
No, it's much better to keep it hidden, because when you say display alternative price, you need to put in a specific amount, which will be confusing to your family members, because
Sure.
the first member will pay differently to the second member and so
Yes.
forth. So yeah, keep it high price. And the
Great.
best part to explain, if you could just scroll a bit more up.
Yep.
Just up in the description area.
This in here.
Yeah, you could actually provide breakdowns over there. How much does the first member pay club fees, the second member pays the club fee. So it's much more better for them to understand the breakdown.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. So then, of course, you can add your benefits just like you did in your individual ones. And of course, this is the family membership benefits. So you can pop those in there and they will pop up, and show your family membership as the first option. To me, that is the best spot for it, because otherwise it is last. So first option, and then we're going to save that. So that's your family membership. Now I'm just going to briefly show you, it's not here, is it? No, because I just forgot to do this before. When you're in your membership, you can actually preview what it will look like for your member as they're looking. And so here's your benefits here. So you can pop a few extra ones in there as well. So having a little preview is a great idea. We have each of our junior, senior, and adult riding memberships are in a different color, just so it's really highlighted. All right, so I'm going to jump out of there. So the fourth thing that we're going to briefly talk about, and I don't need to be on any particular screen, is the 14-month membership. Now that is at this point in time for South Australia and Tasmanian members only. Essentially, this is the most beneficial for anyone who has a lapsed membership or for brand new members. So if they join up from the 16th of May, which is of course the day after the blackout period, they will end up getting their membership right through until the 30th of June 2025. Now, clubs do not need to do absolutely anything to activate this. This is all done from the back end. So it's just something for you to be aware of. And our last thing that I'm going to show you is how to add a life member. So we're going to jump out of our membership setup and we're going to jump into our club members. So obviously not everyone has life members in their club, and everyone's club seems to do these just a little bit differently. So we're going to search for the member that we're going to add into our life member. We're going to go down to edit their profile by viewing their profile. And sorry, my cat is at my window of my office and she's crying. So if anyone hears that, she's fine. She just wants to come inside. We're going to go to our additional details. And we're going to go to, oh, hang on, have I done? Yeah, there we go. Admin only, sorry. And then you're going to go yes on the life member, and then you will hit save. And it's as simple as that. So once you've selected yes, that member will actually be able to see and purchase the life membership option when they go to renew their membership. So I am not making myself a life member. So before I get, actually, I'll just jump over to it now. Remember how I was saying about the forms at the end of your membership? So I'll just quickly jump back in there. Just so I can, come on, silly internet. There we go. So remember, right down the very bottom of our membership, if I scroll all the way down, we've got these fields here. So what we need to do is we need to create a form for that, so that when I click on that there, it doesn't just say admin and member approval. Okay, so I'm going to just save, and I'm going to go through this super briefly. So we go into here, into our field management club, and we are going to go and stay in our member overview, and we're going to add a new form, and you can say the form name is membership questions. Your members won't see that. It's just more so for yourself. So we're going to add a field, and let's say I want to find out some more about their writing ability. This is for our new members. So I'm going to say, please tell us about your previous writing ability. Whoops. Below. All right, and I'm going to change that to a paragraph. And I'm not going to have it as required because it's not going to be for every single member. But what I really do need is I need to have a section, and I'm just going to move that up. And I'm going to say for all new YDPC, that's my club members. Please answer the following. And that will come up as a little box, and we can preview it. And it'll look like that for them. And then, of course, if you want to ask specific other questions, you can just build your form. So I'm just going to hit save on that one. And then I'm going to jump back to our membership setup. Now, remember, this is a Just Go Pro feature and a great reason for you to upgrade. Jumping back in here all the way to the bottom. And this time when I go add fields, there is our membership questions. Please tell us about your previous writing abilities below. So there we go. That is now sitting on that membership option and ready for your members to answer. So it's as simple as that. Awesome. Oh, well, I'm finished for this evening for what I needed to say. Hopefully I've gone through everything. But does anyone have any questions specifically about the membership setup first? And then if there's any other general questions, I'm happy to answer those. Everyone's staying on mute. I love it. That's good.
So, since we do have the time, maybe we can show them how to put in upgrade rules for membership upgrade. Yeah.
Now you're testing me. I love it. All right. Great idea.
So we'll just pick one of the writing membership categories.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll just stick with the same one.
The scenario that we are looking at over here is a non-riding member trying to purchase a riding membership. Now, most of the clubs, maybe all of them, do provide discounts on previously paid membership prices to members when they're upgrading their membership, correct?
Yeah.
Do you guys do it? Beautiful. Yeah. So let's just scroll all the way down to section 5, discount, restriction, discount, and surcharges. We'll go into discounts.
Yep.
Cool. Now add a new discount rule. Easy. So the rule description we want to give is upgrade. Yeah, simple. Upgrade from non-riding, just to understand if we are doing upgrades from any other membership categories to differentiate between them. Now, the explanation will be the same. It is, again, just for your own viewing. It will be not shown to members. So just for your understanding, you're putting the rule description and the explanation. The amount will be the discounted amount. So it won't be the amount that you want to charge them, but it will be the amount that you want to discount them from the membership category. So for example, if your non-riding membership fees is $10, so you want to put $10 over there as a discount amount, right? So that's the easiest part. So you see there's a checkbox for percentage. I don't really recommend doing percentage for upgrades because we already know what's the fixed price of the membership is going to be, and to not complicate any further, just don't use that. Just use the fixed amount option.
Yep.
Click on add new rule. Beautiful. So now you'll get heaps of rules over here based on age rule, club profile. All we want to select is the type of the membership that the member has. So go into membership affiliation, and the first one has member has any of the following membership, and you click add. Now you click on the drop down and you scroll down until you see the non-riding membership for your club. Yep, DPC social member, and then that's it. And then you take off the box for include check carding. Cool. And then you
because
save
they've
it.
already
So now,
purchased this one.
Yeah, exactly. And so you don't want to give a member a discount who has a social member in the card along with the riding membership. So it doesn't make sense. They need to buy the first non-riding membership to get the discount.
Yep.
And you click save.
Done.
That's your membership upgrade. So anytime a non-riding member comes to you and say, I want to upgrade a riding membership, you just tell them, or all you got to do is just follow the same membership purchase process and buy a riding membership rather than buying a non-riding membership. The discount rules have already been in place for the state and the national. The zones and the clubs need to do that. So if you already have discount rules in place for your clubs, please go and review them. All you might need to do is change the non-riding membership amount if the amounts have changed. If not, then you don't have to touch it.
Yep.
Zones and clubs will need to do it. And once a member goes into upgrade, they'll see $10 off their riding membership when they're upgrading from non-riding.
Awesome.
Other scenarios could be come and try membership, but I'm sure that the South Australia come and try is through the direct, and Tasmania is also through direct, so you don't need to set up come and try at the club level. If you have any confusion about them, I ask you to go contact the state body. They'll provide the proper explanation on how to purchase come and try or rally participation in case of South Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone's a little bit different. So earlier when I said to you all about making sure you review each of these tabs, so obviously there's nothing there. Now you can see we've got our discount there. So obviously if each year, if you're going to pop that in to ensure that your member who goes from a non-riding to riding does get that discount, you're going to need to edit that each year. So based upon your fees. So what I thought I might just do is I'm going to save that and I'm just going to check what our non-riding is. And it's actually $11.15. So that's the amount that I want to actually ensure that they're getting a discount. So I'm going to go back into that membership, scroll down, go to discounts, and I'm going to edit that. And that amount is going to be $11.15. So that means that I've already paid as a non-riding member the $11.15 to the club. I've also paid my zone, my PCA, and my state fee, if there is a fee, because every state is slightly different. And then I'm not going to pay that $11.15 again when I decide that I can ride as well. So always click on save.
Easy. Any questions on the discounts part? Nah.
I have a little question. Sorry, Monel.
Absolutely.
I actually, it might be different now. I remember when we first went live with Just Go, and I probably really didn't know anything. I was trying to set up a couple of our zones have reduced fees for just one of their clubs. Like we have King Island and Flinders Island here, who are obviously remote and not on the main island of Tassie. So they actually get a reduced, I know Flinders does, I'd have to double check about King, but they get a reduction in the actual zone fee because their members can't actually participate in all of our mainland Tasmania activities. And when I was trying to set up, I thought I could set up a discount for the zone fee, and I was trying to sort of find a way to be able to select if he's a member of a club, then they get this zone fee discount. But I couldn't get it to work, and I wasn't sure if that's something that's possible, and I was just sort of missing something obvious with that. You don't even have to answer it now if you want to have a look later, and we can touch base. But
yeah, so we could do it. So yeah, I know the rule that we're using. If a member is if a member is a member of a club, then they get a discount. Will not work because then you will only get the option of the zone. So and it will be applicable to all the zone members, but there's the other way around. So if you just want to reach out to me on email, and I can show you. There's definitely a way that you can just have that discount particularly in place for those particular members from the club, and not all your club members. So that will work.
Yep, cool. I'll try to remember. If you don't hear from me, don't worry about it, Monel. I think they do it manually anyway, so they wouldn't know I'm even asking. So
that's all right. No, it's a really good question. So what way we're going to use is that we're going to give a special field for the member in their profile, and then we'll give a discount rule that if a specified profile field is ticked in the member's profile, then they get a discount, and then you can mark those zone members or those particular club members in you can mark or check off their field in their profile, and then they will only get the discount. So it's kind of a long way. It's not automatic, but it is possible.
That would
unfortunately, the discount rule doesn't give us a drop down on what club the member is part of and when I apply the discount to. So
yeah, sure. I think I'd tried to do a bit of a workaround. I'd actually worked, I think it was because they're such small islands. I think they only had 1 or 2 postcodes on the island, which was different to the Tasmanian postcode. So I think I was trying to do a workaround that way. And actually, if the club members that, postcode is this, I'm sure I had an option like that. I kind of got it to work.
Really good one,
Oh, there you go. But then I kind of
look at you go.
Wow, that's a really creative one. Yeah. What zone is it?
That was for Northern Zone, I think. So I was trying to work out the Flinders postcodes, and because obviously they would be different to what we've got here on the main island. So I probably could have got that to work. I don't even know why I didn't follow through with that. Probably because I was just maybe trying to get it to work. But yeah, I think that probably would have actually worked. But that's only because they've got very limited
I'll
postcodes.
have a look. I think the postcode one is a really smart one. Yeah.
That's very clever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, excellent.
Give yourself a clap.
Oh, yay, little gold star to Tassie. Look at us go. I was just curious. I probably should know the answer to this about if clubs want to purchase the pro option. Monel, do you guys know how much that actually is for them? I probably should know that.
It is $125 annual fees.
125. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah. So obviously, I just think some of that installment stuff might actually be really good for our clubs. But depending, I guess they have to weigh up about, cost, because we've got some very small clubs. Weighing up about cost for them.
Just on the installment payment, it will be only applied to the club fee, so it won't be on the total membership fees.
Yeah, that's okay. No, but I think that's still fine. And particularly what you said about if we can encourage them maybe to start using it for even for paying, setting up camps and that kind of, when you said that, Shanoa, about being able to pay camps off, especially around Christmas time, that might be a nice option for the yeah, for the members to be able to do that, especially when they've got, more than one child as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, cool.
absolutely.
Yeah, excellent.
It's been brilliant for us. We have two camps twice a year in April and September. They're $400-ish, and they are obviously a large fee. That includes absolutely everything, though. And we have found that more and more people are using that.
Yeah.
And essentially, because the first thing I asked Model was, okay, what happens if someone defaults on their payment? Am I going to have to chase people? But after they've defaulted, it actually tries to take it out for 3 more days, so the next 3 days, and then after that it will stop and you do have to chase it. I haven't had to do that to anyone this last 2 camps that we've used the installment, and it's just been brilliant. Instead of an Excel spreadsheet for me and literally going through and ensuring everyone's doing the right payments at the right time, which of course is for a secretary who's in a volunteer role and doing everything else anyway, that's a lot of extra work. So the installment, that $125 was essentially like, okay, my club said, if we divided your time up, that would probably be like $2 an hour.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, no, it sounds like a really good option. Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's not just for events. So I'll just quickly jump into our shop and just show you. We did a drive on our winter jackets, and it tells you that there's an installment available, and that's just a $60 jacket. But the club's happy to pay the fee initially, so it says installment available. So if you want to add it to myself, and then I just click on pay by installment. It's as simple as that. And I think the initial installment was $20, and then a week later $20, and a week later $20. Or you could set it fortnightly or whatever. So it's not just events or membership. It's also items in your shop as well, which is fabulous.
This is good.
Yeah, that is really good, isn't it? That I must say, have you done? I obviously don't get to a lot of these webinars, but is there one? You did one on the shop, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. But what happened was, we didn't realize once Monel actually uploaded it, because he's not going to sit there and re-watch it and listen to my voice the entire time. So it was all corrupted, and my voice is all sketchy, and there's lines through so I've just redone that on Monday. I think it was number 3 and number 4. They both were exactly the same. So they should be up any day, Hey Model, onto YouTube.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great, because I'm just I think merchandise, and we do a lot of merchandise sort of at a national level for national uniforms as well. And I haven't actually done it in Just Go. I've obviously used, Try Booking or something like that to do some of that stuff in the past. But I do like that installment option because those uniform expenses are obviously a big outlay for the kids for something like that. So that might be something that we would probably utilise at state level if we can get it set up. And and you obviously you can do like the different sizes and things in there, don't you? Just had that in your shop.
Absolutely. So you have all your different sizes. Show more, and it shows them all as well, which I absolutely love. And the other thing that you can do is you can upsell a product within another product. So if I go,
you can do it to the membership journey too. Membership purchase through if you upgrade to Pro. So along with your membership, you're promoting your products.
Yep, definitely. So if you have, I'd love to know actually in Tassie, do you guys, if they're kept coming along to the rally, do they need to wear their formal uniform?
Yes. Oh, go Fiona. See, Fiona, Fiona's one of our amazing DCs, so she can tell you exactly what clubs do.
But I know very little about Just Go. So, but we have our formal uniform, which is jumpers and ties and shirts, and that's winter. So that's just started now at our May rally, and then over the summer months we just go to a polo top. So they all. Yeah, and they wear their polo tops like for games and cross country and things as well when they go to competitions, and otherwise it's the formal jumper for, dressage and show jumping days and that sort of thing. So it's both. Yeah.
Yeah, and so obviously presumably there'd be a good secondhand market as well for those who have moved on out of Pony Club or not doing Pony Club anymore. But if it's a requirement that they purchase a club shirt, for example, then you can add that to their membership purchase, and then that way they can select the sizes and things like that as well. So it's really and you know what, like I know you were saying before about using try booking and stuff, but it's all here. It's all on Just Go.
Absolutely.
You can do everything.
It would be so much, and that's why that would be so much easier. So yeah, no, that's great. I'll have to I will explore that. So yeah.
Yeah,
I think do you guys find that we, like Tasmania, do a lot with Just Go? Like, are we, because I feel that we don't really use it hardly at all.
No,
I'm
we don't.
embarrassed to say.
Yeah, you're actually
I'm
right,
not good
Fiona.
at it at all.
No, look, you're in the right spot. That's the most important thing then. You know, these webinars are created so that people can feel a little bit more comfortable and confident with Just Go. So I started from the very first, sorry, my dog's going off. I started from the very first, which was just to create a rally. So, or we call them a muster. So these are all our events that we hold. And it's so easy. You know, it's just, this is absolutely everything. And we've got these all the way back to the very first beginning of Just Go. We started using them. So for example, our May muster or rally that we just had, we had a few people come along, and it gives you everything you need to know. It tells you the prices, you know, how many places you've set as to how many bookings there have been so far. So we do all our massive camp on here as well, and I'll show you the one of the tickets for our camp has this one. So if I jump into here in the event section, so I go through all of this from basically session 1, 2, and 3. This is all about setting up your rallies, events, clinics, and things like that in here. And I know it looks like there's a lot, but it's really not. So this here is one of our forms that we have created, and we just slightly change the dates each time for our camps. And we've asked all these different questions, because this is not just our club. These are members from outside our club and outside our zone that come. We even have people that come up from New South Wales for our camps. So, you know, and all their food is there as well. So then they can choose if they are if they have intolerances or and then we have our own waivers in the condition, kind of like conditions for camp, like you will help set up and pack up. And then of course you've got your PCA waiver, which is default. So like it's huge, and it's all done, and it's all easy. And if I want to see who went to our camp or who is nominating for our camp, I can do that at the click of a button once my internet clicks over to the right spot. Yeah, there we go. It's unstable.
It was actually because you're right, we don't use it as well as we could with our clubs in Tassie. It's sort of a little bit of a, you know, it's hard to get them to shift over because we've traditionally used Nominate for events, just because we do have a lot of our riders are EA riders as well. And that's because Tassie's obviously very small, and our two bodies do tend to work together quite a lot. And so they're very, awesome, you know, very used to using Nominate for events, for example. But after we chatted the other night, Monel, I was talking to Tracy, and we were just seeing if maybe we could start to at least encourage our clubs to maybe use it for rallies. Because we do have clubs that even use Nominate for rallies as well. So they could even just start small by using it for setting up their rallies, and at least then at any time they can see who came to their rallies. If there's any fees that are getting charged for like senior members, that kind of thing, that would be really good. You know, just to work from there. And I'm sure that they, you know, they wouldn't. Most of them don't use the shop for their, you know, any of their merchandise and things like that. But I think once they sort of got in and you know, had a bit of a go, I think they'd find it really that, you know, it is a lot simpler and it would be quite useful. And Chanel, with all those questions you had on that event, like with your camp, so is anything on there that is pro only, or is that like all part of the standard setting up
That's
for?
all standard. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
good.
all standard.
Yeah.
And something that I have found out myself. So we have obviously clubs in Queensland, more so those EA clubs. They're all using Nominate, of course, because this is a pony club platform. And we definitely have clubs that do use Nominate. And of course, Nominate does have some advantages, obviously, with the live score for dressage and jumping and things like that. But Nominate's more expensive from a fee perspective.
It is expensive.
It
Absolutely,
is so much
it is
more
expensive. I know. Yes, so absolutely, which is
so that's a huge thing for members.
Yeah, yeah. With oh gosh, we've really gone off on a tangent here.
No,
Sorry.
that's all right.
But with setting up your events, how does it handle? I suppose I hadn't quite wrapped my head around. What if you have an open event? So you're obviously going to get people coming along who aren't members in Just Go. Do they just have to sort of create a Just Go profile, but not actually become not elect to become part of a club? Is that what they can do?
Correct. Yeah, they do have to create a profile.
So they just create a profile and fill in the basic information, just as emergency contacts and their personal contact details and everything else.
Yeah.
And they can register for the event. So if you have a restriction, so default setting for the event is that any member, non-PCA members can join, non-financial members can join. But if you put a restriction that you want them to become, you only want to have financial members, then you put a restriction in there.
Yeah.
So
excellent.
If a member comes in and doesn't have a profile, all they need to do is they don't even get redirected from the event screen. On the event screen, they just a new pop-up comes in and they need to fill in the detail, and they can register for the event.
Oh no, that's really good. So I suppose it's similar to sort of I mean, they can do that in Nominate anyway. They set up a profile, but they can also, I think they can join, do it as a guest option as well. But that's not onerous at all if it's only a few fields, that's for sure.
And for example, the way you'd set it up is if I jump into the main muster that we have just done, you would have 2 tickets, or based upon if it was someone who was a non-financial member and they're obviously having to pay a day registration. Oops, I went past the tickets. My internet's being, I think, a little bit silly. There we go. So, for example, we have our coaches riders are free at our musters. So, for example, you would have the ticket for whatever the competition is, and then you could do it 2 ways. And if it was like one option for the competition, you could pop in, so say show jumping, for example, just very brief, and then so PC member show jumping, non-PC member show jumping, and you can make in here in the advanced settings a restriction to say that they cannot join this one if they're not a Pony Club member, a financial member, and then they would only be able, so this one would actually be grayed out. And this one would obviously have on the day insurance based upon whatever your state says. And you could actually add the day insurance as a surcharge so that it comes up separate, so that you can act like in the checkout, so they can actually see, if I was a member, I wouldn't have been charged that. So there's that option. That's probably the easiest one that I would presume that you would use. Look, we use it all the time for everything. When we do hold a dressage day, I'm always open and honest, and unfortunately we won't be able to use the Just Go system. You can pay Nominate to add everything in, but it's hugely expensive. So I mean, that's a bonus for them, but I mean, this is our Pony Club platform, and if you only have members coming into this platform once a year to do their membership, then you're going to end up with loads more phone calls to all those secretaries going, I can't remember how to do my membership.
Where's my password? I've forgotten it. Won't let me reset
it. Right. That's exactly right. And so it's really important to utilize this, and it is our base for almost everything that we do. So And with the Just Go Pro membership as well, we haven't done it, and it's just because we haven't actually got that. You actually get the website builder too, so you'll get a free website out of it. So if you have a website that's costing you $125 a year or more, then you're already paying more than what the Just Go Pro membership is, and you're going to get a website. So we haven't played with that yet, but it's on the to-do list.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know I keep meaning to look at that as well, because after we sort of upgraded and lost when we lost what was that in Mono? I think in the My Pony, we had My Pony Club websites through Omnisport, I think. Yeah. And so when we realised that was getting sort of cut out, I whipped up like a Google site, within a week to just go, oh my gosh, we're going to lose all our data. And I knew that something was coming. Just going, now how many years later, I'm still saying, I really must have a look at the website set up in Just Go. One day, again, yes, on the to-do list. We'll get there eventually.
Absolutely. That to-do list never ends. So no, that's awesome. Yeah. Did anyone else, thank you so much for taking part. I really appreciate it. But did anyone else have any other questions? It doesn't particularly, need to be about the membership setup, but if it is, that's great. Or if there's anything else that anyone's not sure of or how to do that I can briefly talk about.
I'm so sorry. While everyone else is thinking of a question.
Yeah.
Mono, actually, he's disappeared now. But Mono, I was talking to Mono the other night, and he was showing me we have some different options. Like we have some government programs, like it's called Ticket to Play down here, where the kids can get vouchers to go towards their membership.
Yes.
And he was actually, I don't know if you can maybe run me through. He actually showed me how you could do like I can't remember whether he said it was admin pay or request invoice or something. So when he was showing me how we could sort of join them in but not actually have to get them to pay at the time. And I actually I should have asked before he disappeared, because he'd know exactly.
That's all right. No, that's fine. I'm actually just wondering.
And I think it was something. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's through this way. If it's not, then I don't know the answer to that question, but we can definitely figure that one out. So I can go to, this is a member who hasn't joined up.
Yeah.
So buy review memberships.
Because it's something that an admin would do, isn't it? Like, so rather than them.
There's a couple of ways to do it. You can get them to, because we have a very similar system in Queensland, and you can get them to pay, and then the club here in Queensland, we then go onto a different website, we put in their voucher number, and because I think they used to have to do it themselves, but now clubs do it, so they send it to the club, their voucher, we put it in the website, and then we receive that payment, so it's $150 here in Queensland. And then we can either pay it on their behalf, or they pay it and then we refund them. Which, it unfortunately it would be great if it was all one system, but it's not going to probably ever be, and that's okay.
Right. Yeah, I think it was something along those lines. We've just got we do have a couple of clubs, like sometimes, particularly the difference between the northern clubs and say the southern clubs is that the majority of our northern clubs, our riders pay for their rallies up front. So they end up paying quite a lot up front in their membership, but then they get their 10 or 11 rallies for the year for free. They don't actually pay to go to their rallies as such. Whereas our southern,
that would be that's a great idea. Yeah. But that would be really good to have that installment fee as well.
Absolutely it would. So, but our southern clubs, not all of them do it that way. And so they might have quite a small upfront membership fee, but then they might say pay, $40 for every rally that they attend. So when they have something like this Ticket to Play, where we get $200 down here, it doesn't sort of necessarily, their club membership component is not perhaps $200. And so I was just trying to find a way if I could sort of work around that so that we could, the club could pay manually, so it would come off our PCT fees or something like that. But obviously PCT still needs to get the fee.
It must be a default setting. So the reason I went through, and this is actually in her, like, this is not the Yandina Club's checkout. This is kind of like the back end of theirs.
Yes.
Now, in some events, in our events, it actually has a pay offline button here. So it's actually above the pay with card. So that would be fabulous. But I've just noticed the discount code, which I've never noticed before. So I'm wondering if we can do a discount code.
Yes.
But, that would presumably be, because I've never seen it or an area to be able to access it. That would be that would probably be a PCA back end kind of thing.
So I might have a bit of a chat tomorrow because I guess with the discount, because we obviously can't discount it off the PCA fee, and technically so we could take it off our PCT fee, but the club would obviously give the money to us, because the $200 would get dispersed between the club and PCT, if you know what I mean. So it's more a matter of just, letting them join, but not having to pay, and then they can work it out manually later. But it still gets processed in Just Go instead of being sort of a backdoor kind of process. So I think bit of a look.
The other way, of course, is depending if the club has its own card, they can go through the back. Like, how does the system work in Tassie with your vouchers? Do the vouchers get
so I think the same as you guys. So the rider applies, they get voucher numbers, and then they actually have to provide the voucher. So that's when it does all the checks on if they're they get approved, and then the voucher actually gets provided to the club, and then the club has a portal into the government ticket to play system, and so they put the voucher in there, and then the money goes straight into the club's account, and that's where they could then disperse it. If there was a bit that then needed to go to PCT, they could manage that manually in that case. So that's what I'm thinking they would have to do. So, so as I was just looking for some different ways about how to, quite often the clubs will ring me and say, oh, how can I process ticket to play? And it's like, oh, I think you kind of have to just do it. Like, you do have to kind of do it manually, but I hadn't sort of thought about some of these other things that Mona was showing me the other day. So I might have a bit of a play.
If the club has a card, then you could just pay it yourself.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Invoice, like, let's say if the membership fee was $230, for example. Then, and it was a $200, then you could invoice the people. So the club pays the whole lot once they've received that $200, and it is invoice the member for $30.
$30. That's exactly right. And do that manually after.
Maybe Monel has some amazing little.
He might do. I know, he disappeared at the wrong time. There we go. No, that's a good note. All good. Excellent. I have no more questions. I'm going to put myself on mute. But thank you very much, Noah. That's been amazing.
No worries. And honestly, if you guys are keen to get into Just Go a little bit more, I know it's taking out time to watch the videos and listen to my voice. But I would definitely go back, especially and watch those, probably just even 1 and 2, because 1 is very basic, and 2 starts to add in those questions on the forms. So even if you and they're both up on YouTube ready to rock and roll. So if you watch both of those, then you can, run with that a little bit more and disperse that to your clubs if you think it's a good resource. And then say, hey, let's all see if we can set up our next rally on Just Go.
So,
wow.
Fiona's thinking now.
It's daunting. It is a little bit daunting. I'm going to go back in right to the start and go to the help centre and watch some videos. Getting started.
The help centre,
go through.
That's kind of why they asked me to do these, though, Fiona, because the help centres are done by a lovely Indian lady who's Just Go. Now, she doesn't know anything about horses and about anything about how pony clubs run. So a lot of the terminology that she'll use, you'll be like, hang on, what does that mean? So that's why kind of I'm trying to do it in not layman's terms, but in pony club terms instead. So all of my videos, because of course I'm going to promote myself. All of my videos are on the YouTube, except for the number 3 and 4, which they should be there any day now. I'd say.
So where do I go to find? So I just go into.
So if you just jump onto YouTube, and then go in, just search for Pony Club Australia, and you click on the videos, and it'll just show you all the latest ones. And yeah, they've just got them as Just Go session 1, and then explaining what it is, and then 2, 3, 4 once they're there, 5, 6, and then once this one 7 is there. So if I actually, my screen is not being very handy right now. Let me.
Here we go. Oh yes, 6, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
So they're all there, but unfortunately, the so you go to why can't I see it? Anyway, they are all there.
Just Go webinar. How to create a rally. How to set up a clinic. How to set up a
competition.
A competition.
Yeah, so this one just is a jump on a little bit more onto these, and it also goes through and shows you how to do the reporting side as well, and how to pull down the reports and what they look like.
Oh, Grada would love that.
I love a good report.
Yeah, well, they're not that exciting, but they do the job. Now, the email and communications, so you can send all your emails from Just Go as well to your club members, and there's lots of different ways to do that. I did a template one as well. That was last week's one, because, you know, people like to use the newsletters as well.
Yes. Well, that's good, because see, I just share everything to our Facebook page. So we've got a really very active West Tamworth Pony Club members only page, and all the Pony Club stuff that I just share it to that. But then we could look at transitioning over a bit to Just Go, and you know, it's all there. It's all here.
Yeah, look, we still use we have obviously our Yandina Pony Club Facebook page that the public can see, and then we also have a closed membership one. And we will share obviously important things on both of those, but we will still email our members, like when we set up a rally, then we will still email our members as well. So I'll jump back in and show you what that looks like a little bit.
You didn't think this was going to be Just Go for Dummies, did you?
Silly, that's the whole point of it. Maybe we should have called it that. So these are just all of our different emails that we send out, and it gives you a little quick report of how many were delivered. The difference in the delivery is who I've selected them to be delivered to, and you can make little segments of like lists of certain people, and choose those as well. So
it's from your meetings. Wow. So you could actually type, so really your secretary could just type all your minutes.
Well, we use Google Docs.
Into a Word document. Yeah.
So all of our meeting minutes are on Google Docs. So this is a link that will take you directly to our April meeting minutes.
Wow. Look at that.
So easy. And I can be editing this, and my chief instructor, who is heavily involved in our club, can jump on and be editing that, and it'll be in a different color.
Oh, wow.
And it's free.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Google Drive. It's brilliant.
Wow.
Absolutely love it.
Oh, what are we going to do, Grada? We've got a lot to a long way to go.
I think the clubs have got more work to do than me. So, you know.
Yes, I know. Oh,
so something that I did at our club when Just Go first started was we have what's called a Kickstart Camp. So essentially at the start of the year, it's a chance for all of our members and any new members to get together after the holidays. And we have an overnight camp where we all just have fun, and the kids get some lessons and riders, and everyone just enjoys themselves. But that night, while the kids are doing dancing and carrying on and doing kid things, I sat down with all the adults, and we had a big screen that we brought in, and showed them how to use Just Go, and
Wow,
how to go
that's a good
in and
idea.
actually
Yes.
do, you know, how to go in and actually go, okay, this is how you access your profile. This is
Yeah.
how to add a family, add your family
Yep.
members. And this is how to nominate, and just give them that really quick but in depth, in that sense of these are the things that you're going to need this year to use Just Go effectively.
Yes. Interesting. Now, I'm glad you said that about the help center on the, because I'd be going into that and getting a bit bogged down, and I can just go to the YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, no, that is fine.
Yes.
Thank you. I won't hold you up. I'll
No,
do
that's all right. Easy
some
peasy.
studying up and research.
And if anyone hasn't joined the group on Facebook that I created, it's just Pony Club Administrators Australia. And that is there for you to, let me just jump on and
Just
show
looking it up.
you. And then if you're not on there, and then because I just found that there was so many people just a little bit lost. So Pony Club Administrators Australia wide.
Here we go.
Did you just request to join? No.
I just did.
Excellent. There we are.
That is much quicker than me.
There we go. Done. And it's just, look, it's not a huge group as yet, but we have, I think now that we have Tassie people in there, I think we have someone from every state, which is great. And, you know, we've got lots of people, and people just, you know, jump on and ask questions. So for example, our Queensland people were looking for our 2024 handbook, and they'd taken it down to make edits, and it finally went back up today, so I quickly posted that in there. And you know, what do clubs do for lead prizes for gymkhanas? You know, it's all just about sharing what you do.
Good.
You know, not just what you do within your club or within your zone.
Yep. No, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
No problems at all, guys. Thank you very much for joining. Beck, I know that you're hiding away there in the background. Hopefully you got something out of tonight and you didn't need to ask any questions. So I will stop the recording now and say good night to you all.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Noah. Thank you.
No worries, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.